a different age. Nakam age. Even if you don't tell him the maniac's name, it shouldn't be difficult for him to understand. Meanwhile, he has seen his old priest Mashai in the morning. At one age, he sees him again in the evening at another age. The village he has come to on government work is also like a village 20 years later. There is a touch of modernity everywhere. But even a little while ago, it was a desert. Traveling at different times. Why? What kind of illusion is this? On the occasion of Tulia's celebration, our present Mayavrut husbands, Sukanta Maiti, Siche, Disets. I will not see you. Who have you been listening to for so long? Even if you can't hear. It's, Welcome back. I am Russell. I hope you are all well. I am also well, and I am in the good group. I have come to you with a new incident. I hope you will like it, because this incident was sent by our beloved Sukanta Maidi. Let's start without further ado. Assalamu alaikum, Russell Pai. I know that by the grace of Allah, you are always in the good team. I send my greetings, affection, and love to the entire team of Bahom. Today, after wishing you 2 million subscribers, I have come up with a different incident again. I request you to forgive any mistakes and errors and look at them with a kind eye. Let's go without further ado to the incident. It was December 2021. At that time, it was extremely cold in that region. The temple was in a Sani, a secluded place in the middle of the forest. I had a habit of getting up at 3:30 a.m. to offer my daily prayers at the temple. However, it was so cold that day that I did not even have the strength to get out of the blanket. Still, I got ice cold water from the well in the camp yard and somehow washed my face and got ready. Something was making me uncomfortable inside, but when I got up, I had to go. I didn't even have the torch in my hand. I left the camp yard. On the way to the temple, there was a tribal village of that region. At that time, the cemetery had no walls, only bamboo fences and bushes. When you light a torch, you could see small mounds of earth within the dark curtain, as if someone was lying down. The sky had descended into darkness like the last sign of the new moon. The wind blowing through the gaps in the trees in the forest was making a kind of whistling sound. From somewhere in the distance, the sound of breaking dry branches could be heard occasionally. There was such silence around that the sound of one's own footsteps sounded unusual to the ears. There was still some way to the temple. As I approached the cemetery, I heard someone very softly whistling or singing from the north corner. I stopped walking and tried to listen to the song. It was an old regional tribal song. The lines of the song in an unknown language sounded a bit like a hum. Is this really a person singing? Or am I experiencing this whistling of the wind as a song? Because I was listening to it so carefully that it was pushing my mind into a room. There was a strange sadness in the melody of the song, as if the tears of someone very old were slowly flowing in the air. Who could be there at this time? I asked myself and turned the torch in my hand once. Just then, I saw a person sitting on a large wooden platform on the border of the cemetery. As soon as the torchlight fell on him, I saw a person wrapped in a black sheet. On his head was an old-fashioned turban. He was sitting on that platform with his head bowed. I thought it must be someone from the village. Later, when I got closer, I realized that he was actually the priest of the temple of the village goddess. But why was he sitting next to the cemetery? When I got closer and asked, I saw a strange scene. The priest I knew had a face exactly like that priest, but it seemed as if he had grown quite a bit older in one night. Because the priest I know has a similar beard, but not as white as cotton. I guess he was around 65 years old that year. He had a beard on his face. But this man's face had such a dead white look, as if he fanned. The skin on his cheeks had sunken in. And the most frightening thing was that he was looking at me with one look. But his eyelids were not blinking even once. I suppressed my surprise and asked him politely, "Why is the Guru sitting here? Let's go to the temple." But he didn't answer. Then he slowly stood up from the middle and looked back at me. Seeing that look, I almost lost my breath. Pale white face, deep black under the eyes. Suddenly, he very slowly raised his right hand and pointed towards the dark part of the cemetery. I looked in that direction without realizing it. In the meantime, a ring like white fog settled on the road ahead and started to solidify. If it were a normal winter fog, it would have been moving. But it was still in one place. And it seemed as if someone was whispering from within it. I don't know why. From the days I was unconsciously moving towards that fog. It would be wrong to say that I was not moving. It was as if someone was pulling me into it. I didn't realize when the torch in my hand went out. The sounds around me were gradually becoming silent. The last time I saw the old priest standing there, and an unusual smile slowly appeared on his lips. After that, I don't remember anything else. Greetings, listeners. I know that you are all well and healthy by the grace of God. I'm Sukanta Mighty. Today I have appeared again with a different incident. I don't know how scary it is. You will judge for yourself. We are spreading this incident on the occasion of our 2 millionth celebration. Sukantamai writes about the incident. The incident happened with my elder brother, Arindambai, who is known to me from Odisha. He is the one whose collected incidents you have already liked quite a bit. In the Golkadadadar jungle, the ghost of Bhubaneswar also gave a wonderful incident, the soul with a closed... What? You don't understand when this incident came again? Listeners, if you want to hear a very special incident, you must go to www.bo.com. The website. The incident is not on YouTube. You will only find it on the website in another world. Come, listen quickly and tell